you react to the situation at hand. If you get a bad grade because of your lack of responsibility, then you have to make changes according to that. And that's all dependent on you and how much you really care about your grades and how much you really care about what you want to study and what you want to become. How serious are you about your goals? Public hospital in Pakistan, I got to witness firsthand different patients and what they really went through and the real job of a doctor, just really how important they are in people's lives. And I just wanted to be like that. I just wanted to play my part and help people in that sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of BPozitive. Today, our special guest is someone who I unfortunately had to go through with elementary school and high school, and now here we are. This individual, alhamdulillah, has become successful in his educational years and is now in medical school in the UAE. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So as mentioned today, our special guest is Mr. Ramis Khan. Mr. Ramis Khan, thank you for joining us today.
Of course, man, it's my pleasure.
I know, you're a Canadian and Pakistani resident, correct? But why did you choose Dubai to, go study a place in the Middle East where you have no roots? Your family lives in Saudi Arabia, you're back home is Pakistan, and Canada is where you grew up. So why did you choose Dubai exactly? What pros and cons did you look for?
Okay, yeah, so for Dubai, there's a lot of factors that went into it. I had to do a lot of research. So when I was looking into Canada, I saw that you have to do a 4-year undergrad and then apply to med school and all that stuff. I talked to a lot of people who were in their 4th year who were trying to get into med school in Canada. They were like, it's not really it. There's a lot of uncertainty amongst our class who are also trying to apply to med school, people in health sciences. When I found this university in Dubai, it was really close to home. That was a big factor, of course. My parents were living in Saudi at the time. And then also, when I was doing some research about this university, it's Gulf Medical University, it had a lot of affiliations with universities like in America and just different unis around the world, like in Poland and in the UK as well. So that I saw that would be really easy for me to get my degree there, study there, and then move on and study elsewhere abroad.
So you picked Dubai as your destination for education, but how long has it been? 6 months since you've been studying there. So based on those, what are your pros and cons of studying in Dubai at Gulf Medical University?
Well, a big pro, of course, is that it's in the UAE, which is an Islamic country. So when you're there, you really don't get influenced by naughty factors, naughty. You can't be naughty. You have to focus on your studies, and then you're always reminded about the message of Islam when you're in the UAE. Obviously, the adhan going on, and then most of your friends are gonna be Muslims and they practice. So that's always a big thing. Another pro I found was that it's in a big city like Dubai, it's right there. So you're gonna be studying as well. And you're not going to be bored. You can do so many things with friends. You can just go out to a restaurant or whatever. You can go chill wherever you want. You can go play football. There's so many things to do as well. And of course, the big factor was that it was close to home. So just all of these, there were a lot of pros. But with the pros came a lot of cons. So some cons that I experienced were that when I was doing my research, I saw that the curriculum in the UAE, there's only a finite amount of information they teach you, right? So it's only a bit. But then if you want to study abroad or somewhere else, you're gonna have to learn a lot more and broaden your knowledge of it. If you want to take the USMLE or some big entrance exam like that. So that requires a lot of independent studying as well. But obviously, being in medicine, you should study yourself too. Of course, you gotta prioritize and know what you need to do. That just comes with every challenge.
So as you said, you mentioned that you have to not be naughty. How did you suppose to get somewhere in life, you have to keep tunnel vision, you have to keep focus. So how do you stay away from that stuff? And especially in our era right now, there's youth involved in drugs, girls, just procrastinating in general. So how do you do that? How do you blind yourself from that and just look at your goal that you have in life?
Yeah, I just want to clarify, I feel like these distractions and things, they're everywhere, even in Dubai, even like in Islamic country, like even if you go to a country that's all Islamic, like you're still gonna find these distractions. Canada, everywhere around the world. So what I would do is I just remind myself every day, like I just have like a set of goals for the day and just remind myself that these are the goals I need to achieve, and any like small satisfaction or like go hang out, like anything that's just gonna give me a small amount of like, oh, it's fun and this and that is not worth it at all.
How did you overcome that, separation, kind of that post, phase? Because it's hard, honestly. We live with our parents, we see them every day, we eat our mom's food, all this kind of stuff. So how did you adapt to, that kind of change? What helped you?
Even if you yourself aren't that independent in terms of like living, you're gonna meet people that like know how to cook, know how to do this. Like learn things from them, learn things from your environment, and always like remember that you're there for a bigger purpose. Don't get distracted here and there. Like if you don't have your stuff together, if you're like ordering out all the time, not studying because you're distracted and this and that, you need to just literally sit down, get your stuff together, and remember that it's about you. You need to be organized.
Okay, that's a given. But look, for us, especially in Pakistani communities, Arab communities, our parents have nice tight reins on us. They're always keeping tabs on us. What are you doing? What time you going to bed? When you wake up? What you're eating? Who you're meeting? All this kind of stuff. And right away, you get all this a wave of freedom. You know what I'm saying? So how did you get over that phase? Because honestly, that phase is very deadly, and you can get lost in that wave.
Yeah.
So how did you get out of that wave and just instead of getting crashed by, learn to surf on it? How did you do that?
Well, it's like sometimes you hit with like a wave of guilt. Obviously, it's like a try and fail kind of mechanism. At first, like you get it, you feel like really good about yourself. Like, yo, I have all this freedom. I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And then at some points, like especially like when you get an exam grade, you're like, oh no. So it's all about you and yourself and how you react to the situation at hand. If you get a bad grade because of your lack of responsibility, then you have to make changes according to that. And that's all dependent on you and how much you really care about your grades and how much you really care about what you want to study and what you want to become. How serious are you about your goals? It all comes from within.
We can determine that from this interview. There's some things we know that in order to have success, you have to keep a tunnel vision. You have to stay focused on your end goal. There's going to be hurdles in life, there's going to be challenges, but it's important to keep on striving to see your long-term goal. Whether that's you want to be rich, whether that's you want to be more Islamic, whether that's helping others, making your parents proud. You just need to define that goal. And as Ramis was saying, medicine is hard. Leaving your family is hard, but if you put in the right amount of hours, dedication, determination, it's all possible. So Ramis, if there's anyone trying to go into medicine, trying to take this path, what would you advise them, or do you have any advice for them that would help them on their path?
My advice would be to something I would have told my younger self. Just be careful about what university you want to go to. Of course, do your research beforehand. Just make sure that it's what you want. You'll be able to adapt to it because the whole environment and everything plays a factor. You need to realize that. It's not just, oh, I got into this big university, oh, it's great. There's so many more factors that come into play, and you should take them all into consideration before choosing one. And another big message that I tell myself is always prioritize yourself and your own goals before anything else. Of course, that's a given, but it can't be stressed enough because a lot of people just give in to others and, oh, I need to please this person and this person, but then their own well-being and satisfaction is not, it's jeopardized. You need to remember why you're there, because your parents put you there to study. Of course, have a balance, have fun, play FIFA with the boys at 3 a.m., have fun, play football, but at the same time, finish your stuff, get your work done, and you'll be set, inshallah.
Yeah. Well, that concludes our interview today. I'm Moumin Mahmood, your host for today. Till next time. Be positive, everyone.